To the oak tree. Limbing out these trees a little bit. I'm gonna strip this limb off going over the house. I'll rig it down, and then these two firs right here, I'm gonna strip these up a little bit, clean them up, probably up to like this level. So nothing crazy today, just kind of typical tree work, small jobs, not like big trees. So let's see how it goes. Yep, we're just rigging this down. It's kind of a small space. Headache? Like I said, I'm just clearing this grouping out, clear this grouping out. There's some big limbs here I'm gonna rig down, and there's one oak limb over here I'm gonna rig down. Oh, I'm gonna set up a really tiny pulley here. Still rated for, this sling's rated for 1,000. Sling's rated for like 600, and the pulley's rated for way more. But it looks tiny, but it's rated. That sounds kind of funny. But just setting up a little pulley system here to rig these down, make it a little easier. I was gonna rig off a limb, but there's really no good limbs up here to rig off of. Yep, just rigging them down. A little shed right here. We don't want to make a bunch of noise out here and it sounds scary. To the oak tree. GoPro.
Oh man, it was recording. Hi YouTube. Oh, it broke.
No, it didn't. Oh, the mount.
The mount broke.
Oh.
I have an extra one.
Okay. Alright, so for the rest of this video, we're going to do this voiceover here because obviously I lost audio. So yeah. Here we are, starting to rig that limb down. That was right over the house, so we had to swing it away from the roof to get it to come down. I'm kind of just showing like video how the ropes, we had all the rigging on the other tree, so the rope coming through, it was kind of just a squirrely mess, but we needed to get this on the left side of the fence so we could rig it straight down and not hit on the fence.
Should I do the sound effects of the branch?
Yes,
okay.
We should do that.
Okay, I might need to practice a little bit.
Remember, I was just going to cut these, and you're like, dude, these are too big. This is going to hit the house.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
I'm like, we've got like 6 feet of room down here to move these 20-foot branches around.
I couldn't tell from my perspective how long that branch was going out past the house. It looked a lot shorter to me, so I was going to send it. But you stopped me from doing that, which is a good idea. So we're just basically rigging these limbs straight down at this point. That one's pretty long. That's like a 25-30 foot limb, and it's going out towards the house, so I did face cut this to swing it away from the house a little bit. They were just putting a little face cut in the side of it. If I didn't do that, the branch would not have been able to slide to the left, which you're about to see coming up here. I just start cutting at it just a little bit. On some trees you can't do this. The limb, once you start cutting just a little bit, the limb just pops off, but on this one we could do that. We could get away with it, so we were able to. You can see I'm just slowly inching it over because we're over the house right now at this point until it comes more to the left. There it goes, and then we're clear of it. And the fence too. The very bottom of that limb touched the door of the fence. That's how long it was. So it's a good 30-foot limb. And these were big limbs too. That's a 14-inch bar on that saw. That's like a 10-inch limb, and then it was super heavy too. So right over their brand new fence.
See my shoulders.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Yeah. The main reason we were out here is because they had a huge oak, like half of an oak tree fall and break and then smash the cars in the fence, so we were there to kind of tune up those trees. This is the second job of the day. We just had to do some like regular maintenance on these front trees here. Eric's pole sawing these up. And then there was an oak tree in the back we had to use the pole saw on, and then we removed 2 apple trees as well. So this is just the beginning of it. there's the beginning of the apples. The main thing of this job was the apples. Chipping these apples was a big mistake, and you're going to see that soon. Mostly because we had, how many gallons of those trash cans?
Oh, like 55.
We filled them up with apples, and then we tried chipping it all at the same time, and that was not a good idea.
We were just trying to save money. We were trying to just make applesauce for lunch.
Look at all the apples.
Yeah.
I'd never done this before, so I didn't know what was going to happen, but I figured, you know what? They should chip just fine. And that was not the... Oh, look at this.
It looked like I was eating it.
You probably... I mean, it just... With all the moisture in the apples, it just turned to mush when it started chipping it up. At this point... Oh, you hit Jake in the face with some?
Oh, yeah.
We're just putting the apples in there like, hey...
Alright, send them through.
And everything seemed to be going okay until you see it kind of coming out of the chute, not even reaching the chipper box anymore. And look how mushy it is. It's literally just wet slush, apple slush. I think at this point we realize it's not chipping anymore. Yep, we're turning off the chipper. We're like, okay, nothing's coming out of the chute. What's going on? Oh, and we realized at that point we knew we messed up. Here we are trying to unclog the chute, and this probably wasn't a good idea because we were making it worse.
Yeah, like 5 times. I'm like, hey, these bolts right here. Hey, see the bolts?
I think so we were trying to unstuff it from the other direction, but we quickly realized there was no space for that to escape from. So we were just packing it in harder. There's the chipper knives. Those can be flipped 180 degrees so you have a new sharp edge. But I've been using the same side for all year. It still chips really well. We just be careful not to chip the rocks up. That chute was pretty heavy when it was full of applesauce. It's too bad we didn't have audio because it was fun. It was a lot of joking going on. So yeah, anybody out there running a chipper, don't do what we did, because that's what will happen.
Yeah, don't put apples in the chipper.
Not that many at one time, at least. Look how stuffed up it was. The whole chute was stuffed, and then all the way into to where the barrel was, it was crammed. And we made it worse by packing it in there. Look at all that. Jake's standing in the bucket with all the apples in there. It was bad. But this actually worked out really well. Luckily we had the tools to do it, and it was pretty easy to take apart the chute. And there it is. Look at all that coming out now.
Ooh.
How long did that take us to fix that? It was probably like a good 45 minutes.
I'd say 25.
That fast?
Yeah.
Well, we were back in business, so next time we'll just dump the apples in the back of the box, and whoever I do a chip drop for is going to get a bunch of apples, maybe. I feel kind of bad if I did that, though. It'd be kind of... This is the one I signed up for. I climbed up on the fence for this because it was so far over the fence there into the other yard. So I'm up on the fence, and there I am jumping off the fence because I lost my balance. That was the end of that job. This is the third job of the day.
Oh, no.
Limbing up these. This was a little bit more than I expected, but we were able to chip on site, which was a good deal. But these trees were huge, and these limbs were massive.
And the wind blew every single piece of sawdust into the back collar of our shirts.
It was really blowing out there. And yeah, unfortunately, the way we had the chipper set up, and the best way to do it is we were also getting...
Yeah, no matter where we put the chipper, the wind would change directions.
And then we were getting covered in sawdust and chip dust. Chips. Huge limbs. So a lot of these I was cutting, I was kind of just trying to peel them down because I was trying to get the sound effects. And of course, this is a video where I lost audio, so a lot of the cuts, the field cuts.
That sucks.
That was the purpose, was to get the audio because it sounded cool, you know, hearing the wood crack like that. I'm shooting these lines up because this tree was like a codom or even 3 stems on it, and it was just a pain to get a flip line around, so I was just going up on a single line. Here, perfect example. That sounded awesome in real life, but huge limbs that we chipped. This was, like I said, our 3rd job of the day, so we were already kind of tired. Uh-oh. There we go. We were already kind of tired, and we had this huge, it turned out to be a huge limbing job.
Oh, there was also a big underground bee's nest in the middle of all the trees.
That's right, yep. In the middle of those 3 trees, a swarming of bees the whole time.
And I had just freshly sprained my ankle before this, too.
Jake got stung in the face. Right away, right when we started this job, he got stung right in the cheek. So yeah, huge limbs, and then we had the bees again. Look how big those limbs are.
So thankful this job is behind us.
Yeah.
And then, hi-ya!
That's the hi-ya.
There it is.
And we had extra help to that day too. We had 1 extra guy, which was good. Otherwise we wouldn't have got it all done, I'm sure. Because we worked until the end of the day.
Yeah.
5.
No. 6:30.
6:30 by the time we got done.
7. It was a long day.
So we trimmed up the trees out front. There was 2 on the side of the house we trimmed up, and then this is the back of the house, the backyard. We just pole saw these limbs. There's like a curtain of fir limbs coming down. So we just pole saw those, chip them up. And then the last thing we had to do, oh, actually, one further you're going to see coming up I had to climb, which also had bees at the bottom of it. And then we fell a tree as well. Eric felled the tree on this one.
Which is not common.
There, right at the below this tree was a bunch of bees down there. So again, we were dealing with the bees. Big limbs. Now we're rigging these down because there's a shed right next to it, and then there's, at the base down there you'll see they put a pad in, where they had the 2x4s in place because they were putting a shed in soon. So I didn't want to beat up that pad, those 2x4s with those big limbs. So we rigged those down to be careful of that. Here's Eric.
Dang, dude, look at those hips. Putting on a little bit of weight there.
This had a back lean. It was going towards Eric, and there was a fence back there, so we put a rope in this with a winch. You can see that's leaning back towards Eric. And it had a bunch of limb weight in the back, too. Jake's cranking on it. Then I'm just kind of helping Eric a little bit.
Yeah. You gotta do a saw motion.
I sped up this part coming up when we start winching it over. We're just keeping that hinge thick because it was leaning back so hard, and it was dead. So this is sped up quite a bit while he pulls it over. The second part on that you see on the back side there, that we had to cut down too. That was the first part. You're limping with your ankle.
Yeah.
I forgot about your ankle until I saw you
my
limping.
fat belly. I just got to play pickleball for the first time this week, and this is like a month ago.
Yeah, I didn't make this video for a while because I lost the audio, and I planned on doing a voiceover on it. I just never got around to it. So this one was leaning out pretty hard right towards the fence, so we had to actually cut this one and roll it down the side of a tree to keep it away from the fence. We had to hug a nearby tree. So you'll see that here in a second.
What are you doing? You're going to cut that down right there? Right now?
So I held the left side because if we went to the right, it would have hit the fence. So we just rolled it down the side of this tree. And I forgot that it actually hung up in the tree, and I forgot that it did that. We had to push it out of there.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't remember this at all until I watched this video back.
I think I was too tired to remember it. I'm like looking at it like, oh, I want to kick it. But my ankle's broken.
You'll see the fence just to the right there, and it's pretty tall, so we had to keep it literally as far left as we could possibly go. Face shield down.
Yeah, absolutely.
I cut just a little scene there, but there you go, pushing it out. It would have reached the fence to the right, but that's the end of it.
Wow, that was amazing.
That was awesome, right?
How many times did you watch that video?
I just edited it real quick and put it together, and that was it. So, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.
All right, that's it.